guys, Amadiah here, and so I just continuing this journey that I'm on with the hiatal hernia repair and then the acid reflux surgery. So what I went over yesterday was the procedures, what I was going for, and what my symptoms were, of course, and just everything that happens in the before math that you have to go through to get to the surgery part. Anyway, I went to the surgeon today and he went over the procedures I'd already gone through to get to him because he wanted to recap, which is okay with me. And he went over the motility study, and remember what that is where they stick a probe about maybe less than the size of this pen, maybe at the size of this pen, that made me snort lidocaine on a Thursday afternoon. What's better, right? But yeah, so remember, it's the tube that goes down. They make you swallow while it's in there and you feel the pinching and yada, yada, yada. Well, anyway, he discovered that I have a weak stomach valve and I have the hiatal hernia, of course. And so he was explaining stuff to me, saying that the hiatus, I guess, part of the stomach that links to the esophagus, was actually bigger than usual due to the acid reflux. So it just kind of pushed up and created this sliding hiatal hernia that keeps going in and out, causing my chest pain and all the other symptoms I mentioned in the last video. And then with the endoscopy, he told me that I have grade B esophagitis, which is right before C or D, which is going to be your worst ones that turn into Barrett esophagus. Later on, Barrett's esophagus can get worse and turn into cancer, guys. So that's pretty serious for most of you who have acid reflux. You might want to get that checked out and get it fixed. He also went over that the medication that I am taking, called also known as the PPIs, omeprazole. Again, please don't judge me because I cannot say the word to save my life. But he told me that all those are acid reducers. They reduce the acid in the stomach and maybe shut off the pumps, but they don't stop the stomach from producing acid. So the PPIs really don't work very long, and even long term, you can still get cancer in the stomach. So I'm happy to be really catching this at an early age because I want to live to be 100. So also, he was speaking to me about my surgical options after a long talk of how everything's going in my body and my anatomy. Then the first procedure that he brought up was the LINX device. The LINX device is like a ring, as I was discussing, basically made of little magnets, probably tinier than this, that go around in a circle, connected by a little magnetic string. It looked like he let me play with it too. It was kind of like a ring, a cheap dollar store ring, but they're high quality magnets that are supposed to be permanent and last forever. And it looks like these little magnets right here, I was definitely wrong. I thought they were balls, but they're actually like little flat battery looking magnets. And they go around in a circle in a ring formation, and probably smaller than this. And literally, my surgeon was wearing it on his finger, and that's how small it was. And it goes around your esophagus and stops the acid from coming up. But I still told him, hey, I'm not comfortable with this because what if I have to get an MRI in the future? It's gonna, mess that up for me. And airport security, I would have to carry an implant card. And I'm just not down to carry one all the time. Like, that would be stressful to keep up with. And I just don't want anything that I got to keep up with. And as well as, either way, he would still have to cut me to put it in. And I'm just not happy with a foreign object being in my body because whenever I was 17, I pierced my nose, and it took a long time for that to come to and heal because my body doesn't like weird foreign objects, obviously. My braces took at least 2 months to get used to before the swelling went down and everything. And I can't do another foreign object device. I really can't. And then he told me that I probably wouldn't be a good candidate anyway for the LINX because it would be a lower than 90% chance of it working on me. However, there would be a chance of it working. It would just be in the 80s range. And I don't want to be in the 80% range. I want to be in the 90 or higher. I mean, come on, I don't want a failed device. I don't want to deal with that at all. So then he started talking to me about how I didn't qualify for the TIF either, which I already knew that because of the size of my hiatal hernia is a reason why I don't qualify for that one, where they don't do incisions. So can't do that one. So it came down to Toupet fundoplication or Nissen. And then we started going over the side effects of the Nissen fundoplication versus the Toupet fundoplication. So he told me the same thing as I stated yesterday, that you would, with Nissen fundoplication, you wouldn't be able to burp or throw up and just have way more problems. And I don't want to deal with that anxiety really now that I've gone into more studying and research on that, because it's not as effective at the beginning, but in the long run it does last longer. But we decided I was going to go with the Toupet fundoplication wrap. He said it is a longer operation than the Nissen fundoplication. He said it should take about an hour and 10 minutes. He will have to move my liver aside to get to where he needs to go. He's going to be right up under my aorta, heart, and lungs. So that's a reason why it is a major surgery. He's going to repair the hiatal hernia first, and then repair the valve by wrapping my stomach around halfway around the esophagus versus the whole way around. So he's going to do a half wrap, and then my insides are going to be stitched, and then the 5 incisions in my abdomen are going to be stitched. It's going to be a laparoscopic surgery. He said that I could stay the night in the hospital if I wanted to, but most of his patients go home with hydrocodone. He said the reason for that is because when you stay the night at the hospital, nurses are waking you up every hour, and after surgery you should be resting. And then he said that I need to be walking after that to prevent blood clots from getting in my body, which I understand that one. Well, anyway, this is what the diet list looks like that he gave me. It looks like I'm going to be on a liquid food diet full on for about 7 days, which is about a week. I'm going to be off work for about 2 weeks, even though I work from home typing my life away half the time, but it doesn't matter. I'm still also talking to clients on a regular with solar panels, as you know. And so this includes most things, like anything that can be poured or get into a strainer. And he told me on Thanksgiving, it looks like I'm going to have to just blend my turkey. So whenever I go to my Thanksgiving dinner with my family, I am bringing my blender, because that's the only way I'm going to be able to eat with the family is drinking everything. And then he said some people actually stay on the liquid food diet until they're able to transition over to the soft food diet. And soft food diet's probably going to be about another 7 days, he said, so if not longer. He said most people don't really get the feel and want to come off those because they're too scared to really eat solid foods for at least a couple months. He said no weightlifting for 6 weeks, but he said that I have to ease my way into it. And so that's what I'm going to have to do. So he said at least 3 months until I get fully into my workout schedule again. So that means I'm out on instructing for about 3 months or so, which isn't bad because that means puts me back at January or February, something like that. So I'll be able to start the new year a whole new woman with just an organ fix, and I'm gonna be super happy because I'm not gonna have this pain anymore I've been dealing with. I mean, the worst thing I've been dealing with lately is pain. He also said after surgery I'm gonna have a hard problem with gas, so I have to take lots of gas eggs, which I'm cool with. And I have a power bed back here, so I mean, it's gonna be easy to elevate my head and feet, so no problem with that. And so I will be vlogging again and taking you on the rest of the journey whenever I have the surgery. And we're aiming for the 23rd of November. But the nurse for the surgeon is still trying to figure out if we can schedule it for that day, because we're trying to figure out if I'm going to be having it in Southlake Hospital or HEB Hospital in Bedford. Because we need to see which one would have the operating table open that day. So whichever one is where I'm going to have the surgery at. I know Southlake's a lot more classier. I've been to HEB and had to stay a whole week, like during New Year's of 2020. So I started out my year with surgery, and I'm ending my year with surgery. So I will definitely let you know the day before surgery. I may vlog, or I may vlog the day of, or right after surgery. So just stay tuned with this journey, and I will continue to take you on it. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and give me a comment if you have any questions or concerns. I'll be more than happy to answer them. I am not a licensed medical professional. However, I do a lot of studying and I ask a lot of questions to the surgeon. So maybe I can help somebody out with some answers. And so I hope y'all have a very great rest of your day and evening, and just stay tuned.